Hello everyone, welcome to my first mini and my first video ever. For my first mini I decided to buy this adventure starter set and paint the dwarf. It comes with a guide on how it suggests you paint and how to paint, which I desperately needed, which is why I bought it. But rather than follow their scheme, I decided to ask ChatGPT how it thinks I should paint it, and this is what it told me. Obviously, spoiler alert, it doesn't look anything like this, but I gave it my best, so let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy the video. So starting out, I primed the mini. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure this just makes the paint stick on better. I watched a video online and it said to use a dry brush. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I went with. I had no idea how thick the layer needed to be, so I kind of just went with a kind of middle base layer, which I think I did an okay job at. I mean, it's a primer, so I haven't got much to say on that one. That's the primer done. As you can see, it's grey and primed. I hold the mini so many times at this angle. I have no idea why. It never focused. I've fixed the angle for the next video, so just stick with it on this one. But once I'd done the priming, it was time to paint the skin tones. There's only the face on this mini, so it was not a huge area to do. For the skin, I was using Rosy Skin from the set I mentioned earlier on. All the paints I use on this video are from that set. I'll link it below if anyone is interested. But once I'd painted the face, it was time for me to sort of stare at the mini for a few seconds, admire it, and then I moved on to painting the blue. I don't even know which part of the body this is. It's like the robes, I guess, the Under Armour. I think the blue paint was probably my favourite to work with because it's just so vibrant and easy to see and distinguish from all the other colours that were on there. And once I painted the blue, this is how it looked with the beard done, the face done, and the Under Armour. There's a few like parts where I went out the line, but it's my first mini, so I think everyone let me off. And then it was the plate mail metal for the armour. I'm quite a fan of this. It looks like brand new armour when you put it on, so I think in future I'll probably kind of dark it down a little bit. You'll see what I mean in a second. Another thing to mention is, for some reason I just didn't paint the shield until the end. I don't know why I did this. I just did. So yeah, the shield is done right at the end of the video. And once I'd finished the plate metal on the armour, I moved on to the mace. So I mixed in some chaotic black with the plate metal to obviously make it darker, because I felt like that shiny metal armour on a mace would have just looked weird, and I kind of wanted a more irony type look. Another thing I've also since learned is to just have a brush for mixing rather than using these fine point paintbrushes to mix, as I've ruined 2 already, and I've painted like 3 minis. So lesson learned. Here's that angle I mentioned earlier on. It's not so bad on this one, but there's a few on here where it never focuses. Anyway, then I was onto the leather, which is the soft leather, obviously. So with the leather done and a few touch-ups, I guess the base coat is done, apart from the helmet. I'll be honest, when I first got the gold out, I wasn't crazy about it. It's super bright. But actually, once it had dried and the soft toner had washed over it, it looks really cool. You'll see what I mean towards the end. And here we are with the helmet also painted. Hopefully you agree. I really like the gold. I think if it had been the silver, it would have just been overkill on the silver. Here's the angle I mentioned earlier too. There are some actual in-focus shots at the end of the video. As I said earlier, I didn't do the shield until right at the end. Here's me doing the shield. I went with kind of like I took the soft leather and darkened it with a bit of black to get a kind of like Minecraft dark oak wood feel, is what I wanted. And I was actually quite surprised at how well it worked. And here I am throwing the gold onto the shield. And again with the famous camera angle. So after some touch-ups, this was the final product before I used any toner. I was very pleased with it. I think there's obviously details in there that I could have maybe detailed a bit better rather than it just being blocked leather, but for my first mini, I was very happy with it. This is just me adding some blood to the end of the mace. It felt weird that this guy had a weapon that just was completely clean to me, so I threw that on there. Kind of like a washed, as if it stained and then been cleaned. And then we're on to the strong tone. This kind of feels a bit cheaty to me. I don't know if anyone that knows about painting minis can tell me I'm wrong, but you dry brush this on and it makes everything look worn and it fills into the recesses, so the darks are darker. Yeah, this really takes the mini from looking okay to looking really good. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Yeah, it completely changes it. It sort of blew me away. There's a few blots where I didn't brush it well enough that I go over again towards the end. And then lastly, I moved on to the base. I just wanted a nice kind of cobblestone feel with him being a dwarf. So I mixed some grey with the plate metal, a very tiny bit of the plate metal to get the kind of metallic in there. I don't know how well it worked, but it certainly looks like stone, so here we are. Here's the final product. As I mentioned earlier, this is my first one, so any pointers would be greatly appreciated. And here he is, ready for his first D&D campaign. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and if there's anyone that's half decent at painting minis that watches this and wants to give me a crash course, then feel free to slate me in the comments. I won't take anything personally, so yeah, thank you for watching.